What's up, everybody? This is Seth, and today we're taking a look at an incredibly important aspect of video, the white balance. Now, the white balance is incredibly important because it determines how all of your colors look coming from your camera. Because we've all had those Sundays when we upload the video from the sermon and the pastor ends up looking like a carrot, sort of like this. Whew! That's because your color balance is way off. And now there's 3 different ways that you can set your color balance in general, and we're gonna go over those 3 ways, not one, 3 ways today. Now, not every single camera is gonna be the same, but this is generally how it's gonna work. So the first way, which is how I'm doing my camera, is setting the color temperature. Everything in lighting has a color temperature. For instance, the bulbs that I'm using in this room are a 3000 Kelvin color temperature, which is more of a orange, amberish, type of a light. Now, the higher that you go, more of like a 5000 Kelvin is going to be like an office light, almost bordering on kind of a bluish light. In your camera, you're gonna set the color temperature of your bulb. So if you go to my camera in its menu, which I'm using the Sony HDR CX900, if I go into the white balance, you can see that it's set to 5000 K. Now what that's doing is it's telling the camera, hey, the bulbs in my room, they're 5000 Kelvin, so this is about how things should look. But these bulbs are not 5000 Kelvin, they're 3000 Kelvin. So I'm gonna change it from 5000 to 3000 and we will see what happens. And now I've gone from looking like a carrot to looking like a normal person again. Well, I don't know if normal. I would check to see what the color temperature of your bulbs are so that you can set them in your camera. Now, every camera is not going to have this setting, but a lot of them are going to have them. So just match up the bulb color of your room to the Kelvin temperature setting in your camera, and boom, you've got a great looking white balance. So number 2 way to set your color balance, or I keep saying color balance, I really mean white balance, is to use a large, perfectly white sheet of paper or poster board. So what you do is get your lighting setting how it's going to be on the stage during the sermon portion of your video. And then stand up on stage where the preacher is going to be and hold up that big piece of white, bleach white paper and just hold it up. Then zoom in on that piece of paper and then hit the white balance button. So again, if we go to our camera and I go into my white balance setting, I can go over to this button on the right and click one push. Now that is going to be your set white balance button. That's a universal symbol for setting the white balance, and so try to find that in your menu somewhere. So now my color looks kind of off because I'm telling the camera, hey, I've got a giant white piece of paper filling up the whole frame. But really I don't have a white piece of paper, I've got a green background, so my white balance again is kind of messed up. As you can see, it's set at 2600 Kelvin. So I'm gonna go back to my normal Kelvin temperature so we look right, and now it looks good. So that's the number 2 way that you can set your white balance, is by using the white balance piece of paper on your camera, fill it up full frame, and hit that white balance button. And number 3 way that you can set your white balance is to use a preset. Most cameras have some sort of an indoor preset, outdoor preset, fluorescent light preset, all sorts of different presets. So if you're not sure exactly what you're doing, you can try a couple different presets and see what looks best in your room. And there you have it. That is white balance. Make sure your white balance is set correctly so your video looks awesome, looks rockin', looks like a mega church. Maybe you are a mega church and your white balance is totally off. Just make sure you got your white balance set. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching. If you like what you've seen, go ahead and give it a thumb up, subscribe below, and if you've got any questions, comments, or ideas for future things to cover, go ahead and list them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you then. Orange juice, Eskimo. Carrot, albino. Tomato, chalk.